What's up, guys? So I've been trying to figure out what is it that you guys want to hear about. Then it hit me. When I was applying to residency, one of the things that I wanted to know was the things that programs use to invite people for interviews. Which of those things are the most important? So that's what we're going to talk about today. What's up, guys? My name is Dr. Safwa Asante. I'm the Successful IMG. Successful because I matched, and I'm here so that you can as well. In this video, we're first going to talk about the overview of the survey that I'm going to talk about. And then I'm going to tell you about the factors that program directors think are the most important things when they're thinking about trying to invite people for an interview. As always, I'm going to put the timestamps down below. So if you're interested, you can skip around the video. Also, I wanted to let you guys know that I'm not accepting any more personal statements to edit. For now, I'm just going to focus on the personal statements that I already have. And I'm also going to focus on the people that have told me that they're going to send their personal statements. So the ones that send me emails and the ones that call me and so on, those are the only ones that I'm working on. I'm not working on anybody else's personal statements for now. But I am still taking people for interview prep and for mentorship. Mentorship, I think you need a long amount of time so that we can get you ready appropriately so that you can match, so that your chances of matching are really increased. So because of that, I'm going to stop taking people for mentorship by October. So by the time October hits, I'm not taking anybody else for mentorship. Interview prep, on the other hand, I still have to figure out the timing for that. But for now, I'm still taking people for interviews. So interviews, mentorship, if you're interested, I'm going to put my email address right here. Just shoot me an email. If you have any questions, shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. The data that we'll be using in this video was derived from the Nrmp survey of program directors that was done a little back. One of the things that they asked their program directors was to give them the factors that they deemed important when it came to selecting people to come for an interview. And then they asked them to grade these factors in terms of importance from a grade of 1 to 5, 5 being the most important, of course. Now, they sent out surveys to all the programs in the different specialties. Only a few programs responded. These answers are, of course, the average of the responses from the different programs from the different specialties. So it's an average of all the different programs that responded, just so you know. I'm going to be talking about the top ranked factors that program directors deemed most important. The number one thing, of course, is flexing your fingers, looking down below and looking at that button that has a thumbs up sign like this, and then clicking that button, hitting the subscribe button, hitting the notification button so that you can help me beat the YouTube algorithm. I want you to say this with me. We are in this together. Well, you guys are in the match and I'm trying to help you guys match. I'm going to go over the factors that they rated as 4 and above, because these are the top factors that they thought were really important. The first ones that were graded as 4 and above were MSPE and your Step 2 CK scores. So your MSPE is your dean's letter. It's a letter from your medical school that basically details how you did in your clerkships, how you did in your medicals, how you did in your basic sciences, your grade in your class, your rank in your class, And then your Step 2 CK is your USMLE exam, and it's one of the important things. One thing that I neglected to mention is that these things that I'm going to talk about, these factors that they ranked in order of importance, I think they are coming into play after they've already filtered people out using your step score. So once they filtered you out based on your step score, let's say your step, they have a cutoff score of 230, and they filter everybody else out with whatever else they used to filter them out. Then once it comes across the table, when they're reviewing the applications in order to decide who they're going to call in for an interview, then these factors that they say are important will guide them in selecting people to call for an interview, right? So Even though step 2 CK seems to be at the lower level and it's a 4.0, greater is important as 4.0, I still think it's important because you still at least have to meet the cutoff, right? And once you've met the cutoff, it's important drops a little bit, okay? So it's a 4.0. So that's your MSP in your step 2 CK. Then your step 1 is a 4.1. For your step 1 and your step 2 CK, you want to make sure you do well in these exams. One, so that at least you can make it past the filter, so that you can make it to the next level. Because if you don't make it past the filter, especially for the programs that have used the step 1 score and maybe the step 2 CK score as a filter, you can get filtered out. You want to avoid that. One of the advice that I usually give medical students, or people that are about to start medical school, is that you have to make sure that you do well in your step 2. Your step 1, your step 2 CK, and your CS exams. Okay. Now, ranked graded as 4.2 is your step 2 CS, and then prior knowledge of the applicant by the program director, and also doing a rotation in that specialty in the program's hospital. So you pass the step 2 CS. So it's important to pass the step 2 CS. Okay, and then remember, you hear people talking about it's not necessarily what you know, it's who you know. Yeah, it shows like they actually said it. The personal knowledge of the person, but it's that they know that you work hard. It's not just any random person that they know. It's somebody that they know they work hard. And then if you do rotation in the hospital, they can get to see how hard you work. So that can also help you. Okay, and then ranked as 4.3, you have perceived commitment to the specialty. So you can show this by putting in your personal statement, like the different activities that you've engaged in, the different things that you've done. You can also put that in your CV, from the rotation that you've done, and then also ranked as 4.3. Grades in your clerkship in your desired specialty. So they look at the grades that you get in your desired specialty. The next 3 are ranked as the most important. So it's like the 2 of them are ranked as 4.5, and the last one is ranked as 4.8. Once you hear them, it will make sense. 4.5, the first one is evidence of professionalism. They don't want somebody that's gonna bring a scandal to them. They want somebody that works as a professional, and that's very important. So you can't have anything that points otherwise in your EURS application, your letter of recommendation, or anywhere else. And then 4.5, another 4.5 is a failed attempt. If you fail a step, it's difficult to match. That doesn't mean that nobody matches. There are quite a few people that match with failed attempts, but they're definitely in the minority. So if you can, try to avoid failing a step. And if you can, try to make sure that you can get good grades in your step. Okay, so that's another 4.5. Now, the 4.8 is the Nrmp violation. That makes sense. If you violate one of the Nrmp things, you're not going to match. One specific thing is during the Nrmp, so you're not supposed to contact programs outside of ERAS. If you have any flags, these are the most important factors. If your step 1 and step 2 CK scores are good, if you show leadership through the activities that you've done and in your rotations and your letter of recommendations, your personal statement, if your MSP is good because you did well in medical school and both in your clerkships and in your basic sciences, if you haven't failed any step exams, if you showed professionalism, you're more than likely to get an interview. And that's basically it, guys. These are the top ranked things that they look at after they filtered applicants out and they have a small bunch of people. These are the things that they think are important in selecting people for interview. And like I said, these things are not the end all and be all. People have matched by not meeting some of these things. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you're not going to match. It just means that you just have to work a little harder. Okay, like I said, if you have any failures, if you have difficulty matching, you've applied before, I'm doing mentorship. I'm here for you guys. Contact me and let's talk. If you need prep for interviews, contact me. I'll help you out with your interviews. And if you need help with personal statements, I'm sorry, I'm not taking any more personal statements because they take a lot of work to go over, and I want to make sure that every single one that I take care of very well. Okay, so that's it. Dr. Safo Asante, out.